Pop.
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 Pop. Pop. Pop.
My name is Angel Nafis, and I'm going to read a poem by Ross Gay entitled Unclean Make Me. And if a woman has an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. Leviticus chapter 15. When the body blooms, you must put your face to it. Lay tongue to the lathe, the blessed lather, sung like marble spun into silk, the human loom, the thread lining your lips. Breathe there. Fill your lungs with birth's florid shadow. This is the common dream of the living and the dead. To not only meet the Maker, but to taste its sweet. Even God should know this. So I first heard that poem when I was 15. It was being taught in a workshop that I was in. And I remember you could hear like a pin drop after the instructor, who is Roger Veneragard, read it. We just blew our little teen minds. And it was the first time I was like, oh, it gets ugly, or it gets not like pristine, and it's good then too. And it was, I think, my first time being like, everything is a poem, which is like a freeing and invigorating feeling, to feel like any human thing is a poem, and the body obviously being top. So I think too, then to hear a poem by a black man like that was like, what's happening? What's happening to my life? What's happening to my view of the world? And to then hear him read that poem, and he wasn't some like, crusty old white dead dude. It was like a real live male saying these things that were really freeing for me, and sort of felt like a permission. And it's funny because I think I carry a lot of that permission today. So I'm going to read a poem of my own that I wrote during 30/30. So it's fairly new. And in the spirit of the everyday being the poem. When I realize I'm wearing my girlfriend's, ex-girlfriend's panties. Praise now the fabric for protecting who it can. Praise the purposeful silver needle and the thread's long arm. Praise now the path and the ex-girlfriend and any mouth that has known my love's impeccable salt. Incredible, incredible gravity, you lead me here every time to the water to drink. You lead me here to this open space to two-step with beloved ghosts, a past that is to a garden. Do not unwish a single blade of grass, for the house craves each brick, the war, every bullet. This is my gift. This is the circumstance of loving, to see another's name written so plainly, to see too what my body will perform in another woman's panties, my own curious blood, a single jewel, a red eye, winking. Describe how a poem finds you or how you create one. So I think one of the best parts about moving into the city was how often poems found me. And I think I'm getting used to like being more serious about like writing and the path of a writer and what it means to try your best to set up circumstances in which you can create poems. But that too, they're everywhere, and that I think the places where I find poems the most are literally everyday situations, like what I hear in a subway or what my boss says to me or what a customer says to me at the bookstore I work at or what my dad says to me on the phone. And it's so easy then to hear where a normal story opens up into like the poem, where like the magic, like, you know, when the bird sort of lifts off, takes flight, and then trying to like take a picture of that moment. So mostly for me, especially just getting into doing like the whole 30-30 thing where you're, you know, insanely trying to write a poem every day for 30 days, I find like myself the permission to write about any old thing. I mean, even that poem that I just read was like, I was in the bathroom at work peeing, and I was like, oh crap, these aren't my panties. These are, in fact, no one's panties that I know. And where I normally would have maybe like buried that moment, I allowed myself the moment to be like, wait a minute, sit in this, and there's like, there's minimally a story here to be told. And so that poem came out, and I feel real grateful. If nothing else, I feel really grateful for the time that you can carve out and what will find you in that time, and that whatever poem finds you in that time is the poem, you know, and then the next day is the new poem, you know, and so that, you know, I think I can get caught up a lot in like spending a week or something on a poem when oftentimes you need to write the poem, and then the rest of the time is just editing the actual, like, that breath. So I think, I don't know, I guess just keeping the feelers open, and all the eyes of the body open is probably what I would say. P.O.P.